Hi, thanks for joining me. So today I would like to talk about a gift that was given to me by Or3con. I just went to the post office today and picked this up, so I thought I would thank Or3con and let you guys see what he gave me. And additionally, I want to talk about my continuing Japanese studies. This is kind of an update to my request that I made a few videos back for recommendations for stuff to study for N1 and really just leveling my Japanese up to, a reasonable level. So, to that end, Or3con offered to send me the Suzumiya Haruhi novels. This is the first novel, Suzumiya Haruhi no Yutsu, and I have read this before, but not in Japanese. I read the English localization. I have it on Kindle on my tablet here. So this is especially great because I'm familiar with the source material already. I don't know if it really be a good idea or be helpful to compare this to the official localization, but it may be. And I'm interested. I like the characters and story from this, so I think that maybe will provide a little motivation as well. And this is just like I was showing off before. It's a regular Japanese novel. It's written in vertical text here, and yeah, I am probably not going to dive right into this, but maybe once I really get my N1 vocab legs under me, I'm gonna give this a whirl. So thank you so much. I think it's going to be a huge help. But additionally, and you didn't have to do this, man. Or3con sent me a couple games. I really appreciate this. This is, let's see, Ponkotsu something Bumpy Trot. And you may be familiar with the artwork style or even the original Japanese name, but this is Steambot Chronicles, I believe. It was localized here, and I don't have that. I don't have this game, so thank you so much. The games, of course, can be another great thing to study for learning more Japanese. I did say that it's a general Japanese test, not a nerd test. So I'm trying to read from some more general source material than just games and anime. But yeah. Anyway, this is super cool. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. And I definitely want to be playing some Japanese games here as well, just to keep myself immersed. And he also sent me this Corpse Party Blood Drive. This is super cool. This is obviously for the PlayStation Vita. It's one of my favorite handheld anyway. And this is like a super cool edition. This is the Ever After edition with 2-disc music collection and Dying Art Grimoire. So, if I had to make a guess, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I did just play a horror visual novel. I did a little running translation, so to speak, a few videos back for Halloween. And I don't know if Or3con was thinking about that when he decided to pass this on to me, but anyway, thank you so much. This I do have to be a little careful with horror stuff these days. I really like horror, but I've been having anxiety issues, you guys know, for the past handful of years, and sometimes I'm fine, and other times, like blood in like a game or a movie or anything can kind of really set me off. It just sort of depends on what my anxiety level and sort of threshold is during that particular day or moment. But yeah. So anyway, I might not dive right into this, but this is cool. I think this is a sequel to, I don't know how the chronology of the series goes, but I have watched a YouTube video of a playthrough of the first game, so I am familiar with the characters and the story of that, and I was able to make it through that without having an anxiety episode or anything like that at the time. So yeah, I will definitely enjoy taking a look at this at some point when I work up the courage and hopefully hopefully make it through it unscathed. I will definitely give that a shot. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, man. I really appreciate it. So yeah, so I'm continuing my Japanese studies, and since I made my N1, what do I study for N1 video, I've been doing some stuff, and I wanted to update you guys. I don't know if I have told you about some of these things or not. So if you are studying Japanese as well, one thing I've found really helpful is renshu.org. I've talked about this before. This is N5 vocab. I've made a list. It's called a mastery schedule, and your progress on like learning any term on this website is all like on a per term basis. So I could add like the same terms to multiple mastery schedules, and it'll consider me as having mastered that term in as much as I've mastered that term, irrespective of how many mastery schedules it's on. So anyway, you probably didn't need all that information, but you can see here there's a scale 1 through 9 of the how much you've mastered a term, and really getting up to like a level 9 mastery. I mean, you can see none of my terms. I think I've got one term at a level 8 mastery. It takes a lot of drilling. Now, the reason for that is, of course, that you are drilled more on terms that are lower mastery and less on terms that are higher mastery. So it takes a while. But I think it's not a bad system, because really once you have mastered these terms, they're probably drilled into your head pretty darn well. Now something, and I forget who recommended this, and I apologize, but somebody pointed me towards this NHK News Web Easy, I guess is what it's called. And I I feel a little chagrined studying anything here that has easy in the title, but I don't really think that is a bad thing, because these are still general news articles about stuff that apparently Japanese people are think are worth making news articles about. And what's great about this is there is furigana for all of the kanji, and all this vocab has clickable links that will bring up dictionary definitions of these words. So really, it seems ideal for Japanese language learners. I'm realizing I should be reading multiple of these probably every single day, and I have not been being good about that. I mostly just found this and I was like, oh, this is cool, and like checked a couple out over a couple days. So I need to be reading these every day. This seems like a really good resource for that. Now something else, especially when I was studying up on kanji for N2, that I found really helpful. If you guys have not run into this before in some other form or on this site, we have Kanji Alive's 214 traditional kanji radicals and their variants. So this is a list. It's a big list, but I found it really helpful. I don't know how well you can see this, but it's got the it's just got the radicals. They're listed by stroke, like a name for the radical, and then it has like a meaning essentially. So what that really helps with is, because kanji are essentially pictographs, knowing what some of like the meanings are of the components that make up the kanji is super useful for helping to remember what certain kanji mean, especially because sometimes you just have to differentiate two kanji. Like if you have the kanji for hold and you have the kanji for weight, the one for hold, they look the same, similar, not the same. They look similar except for the radical. So one has the radical for hand, and that's holding, and one has the radical for like a person going somewhere, and that is the one for weight. So I'm just extrapolating from that. You can imagine that like that sort of knowledge of the radicals like that is just going to be super helpful for remembering, differentiating kanji, but also like if you want to sort of make a mental image for yourself of kind of like what the kanji means, or how to pronounce it or something, and so it helps to like visualize. I've had this book before that's like learning the kanji or something, and it's like, oh, this one's like a guy sitting under a tree, or you make these sort of, I don't know what they're called, but they're these memory devices where you think of an image, and you can do that for yourself if you're familiar with all of the radicals. So I found this super useful for even like you know, when I'm studying kanji, I reference it a lot. When I've gone through and tried to memorize just all of the radicals before over like a couple days, and you know, I didn't get through quite all of them, but it's useful. And additionally, so I did, before Or3con sent me that light novel, I did look around, and you can't, unfortunately, buy digital novels from from Amazon through Kindle outside of Japan. I don't know why. It's super weird. So, but they do offer a handful of Japanese language books on the English, like in my case, the North American U.S. Amazon site. So I picked up this one thing here. It is Puppet Master Sorcery Orange. I have no idea if this is any good, but you can see here, you know, it is a Japanese novel. So, so you know, I have a couple of light novels here that I can read. So that's great. And you know, not only that, but just looking around, I'm like, I do have Japanese language stuff. You know, I have game guides. I've got, you know, I have more game guides than this. You know, Valkyrie, Legend of Valkyrie for the PC Engine, through at 3 on the PC Engine. Welcome to Pia 2.2 on the Game Boy Color. And interestingly, these are all systems that I don't really play on all that much. You know, I have a handful of books. I've got this Biohazard Ad Arts collection that one of my buddies got me. I have a book on maids that another one of my buddies got me. I have MOOCs. I might have a magazine or two kicking around here too. This is like a character MOOC about Sasami from Tenchi Muyo, and again, a buddy of mine got me this. And yeah, so you know, I mean, these might not be the kind of things where I'm like, oh wow, again, you know, is this going to specifically prepare me for like the vocab I'm going to encounter on the N1 test? I don't know, but I'm just expanding my horizons a little bit here. I've also subscribed on YouTube to a news channel. I think it's ANN, and they just do little news clips. They're like short, a lot of them too, like 30-second to maybe a minute or two long news clips. And again, it's great because you're hearing that kind of, you know, standard Japanese. They're discussing the news. There's visual aids and visual, you know, there's text that'll come up on the screen and things like that. So I'm trying to watch at least, you know, like one of those every day kind of a thing. So so yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Again, if you have recommendations, let me know. And I'm just going to keep at it here, and hopefully all of this Japanese study pays off somehow. You know, I'm apt to think that you know, that hard work is never unrewarded. You know, if you really put in the effort to like better yourself and do something, you know, there's people out there that are gonna run their mouths and complain and talk a lot and not do anything, you know, and there's people out there that are gonna sit down and they're gonna do something. And I think it's hard because sometimes I think you don't know if the doing is going to get you like what you want, or even just what the outcome of it is going to be. But even just the act of doing a thing instead of just talking about it or complaining about not doing it, or you know, whatever, life, you know, you get something out of it. You know, whether it's exactly what you're looking for or not. So I think that there's going to be something at the end of this for me. I don't know what it is, but we'll see. So anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks again, Or3con, so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys come back again. Take care.